Here we have some numbers and we are going to count significant figures in these numbers. Now, bear in mind that in chemistry, only measurements have certain number of significant figures. So these numbers, think of them as measurements such as 0.00205007 meters or kilometers or seconds or whatever. Now, if these were measurements and we had to count the significant figures we have in them, how many significant figures we have here? So let's look at each one of these six. The first one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. 5 SF for short. Now the digits which are not significant here are the first three. Okay, why? Because those are called leading zeros. They are leading zeros. Whenever you have a decimal number which starts with zeros, such as 0.0020507 or 0.000000201, those zeros that the digit starts with, all of those in the beginning are called leading zeros. As soon as you arrive at a non-zero number such as the 2 here, and after that 2, if you have any zeros, they will be significant. Even if I was to add zeros after this 7, such as let's say I add 2 new zeros here, then my total sig figs will become 7 sig figs. Those zeros will be significant. Only the leading zeros, as one of the two kinds of zeros, one of them being the leading zeros, they are not significant. Alright, now next number 100.029. How many sig figs do we have here? The zeros we have here are sandwiched between non-zero numbers. Hence, they are not leading or the other kind, trailing. So these are zeros that are significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figures. Next number 280010. Now here we have these two zeros which are sandwiched between the 1 and the 8. So they will be significant for sure. But the last zero is called a trailing zero. So earlier we saw the leading zeros which were not significant up here. And here we have this zero which is called a trailing zero. And hence we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sig figs. If I was to put a decimal point somewhere, such as after this zero, like here, then this zero is not considered a trailing zero anymore. Even if I put a decimal point somewhere else in this number, anywhere, before the 2, after the 2, but before the 8, here, or here, then you don't have a situation of trailing zeros. Trailing zeros only happen when you have no decimal point and you have a number ending with zeros. In that case, you have those last zeros as trailing zeros. So this is a trailing zeros. Now keep in mind, there are only two kinds of zeros which are not significant. Leading zeros, the first case we see up here, and trailing zero where there is no decimal point and we have zeros at the end. Any other time, zeros will be significant. So next number we have 2.973050 times 10 to the negative 3. How many sig figs do we have here? Here we have, let's see, it's the pen. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 sig figs. All right. Here clearly we have a decimal point, so this last zero is not a trailing zero. Then the next number has 2 sig figs. This number, the one in 4 and the one in 5, both of those are written in scientific notation. In scientific notation, what follows is the coefficient times 10 raised to some exponent. The coefficient contains all the sig figs. Finally, the last number, at this point it should be clear that these last two zeros are trailing zeros, and so they are not significant, and so we have 3 sig figs. All right.